Okay, so where should we begin?
My name is Raymond. I'm a writer by day, a bartender by night. Big fan of Bergman, big fan of the Sex Pistols, big fan of toast without butter, and not in an idolatrous way. Of course, that would kind of defeat the purpose of what we've come to talk about today.
Yeah, I like to read. Raymond's a great writer. I like to read what he writes. I have tried my hand at writing, but I would not call myself a writer. You know who really impresses me? That woman who wrote the Goldfinch. Tart. Yes, Donna Tart. She takes like 10 years to write a book. Can you imagine thinking about the same thing for 10 years? Oh God, my name. Sorry, I'm Lane. Lane Bombas. Sorry, this is all still a little strange for me.
Have you reached out to her?
Well, I haven't seen her since she disappeared. All I'm saying is, you don't have to do everything that your boss demands of you.
But isn't that the nature of being an employee, that you do what your boss asks of you?
No. Not when I don't get to see you as often as I'd like.
You're gonna be fine. I'm gonna go to Chicago. Chicago is an interesting place.
Chicago is not an interesting place.
It is. You're impossible.
And I love you.
I love you. I love you. And I love you. Now we gotta go, because we're gonna be late for dinner if we don't.
We can be late for dinner. It had been a really nice Saturday. Relaxing. And then we met up with Raymond.
Raymond, look at you. How are you?
Oh, I'm well, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, all of which I'm looking forward to discussing over a meal.
Good. I'm starved. Raymond was great. He has a steep vocabulary, which can be a bit off-putting, but it's just that flair of his, that writer's quality. Sometimes witty, sometimes pretentious, sometimes And it started off innocently enough, as it usually does.
If you want to appeal to the masses, then sure, that's fine, but if you want to author a truly classic and timeless piece of literature, you gotta aim a little higher.
We were just doing what people do. Having conversations about interesting things, becoming better at thinking and speaking and interacting.
We're not talking about the 20th century here. We're talking about 2019. We're talking about the demise of a democratic republic just starting to fill in its shoes. We are talking about chlorofluorocarbons in the excess of trillions and trillions in our atmosphere. We are talking about humanity bringing its own undoing.
Take it easy, Ray.
I didn't mean to cause any drama that evening,
Nothing of the sort, really. A debate, a discussion, sure, a discussion of a particular kind, but Lane, Sophie, and I have been friends since elementary school. The bonds of youth are strong when you've nurtured them for as long as we have, and I didn't think any topic could cause as drastic a shift as that did.
I'll bring you guys a bottle.
Thank you.
Thanks. So, Ray, what about Hannah from a few weeks ago?
Oh, no, no, actually we stopped. That ended a bit ago. But no, recently I've been, let's call it investing in the non-self.
I think that was the turning point, or the fulcrum of change, or whatever term you want to use. Raymond bringing up the non-self. No offense, Ray, but I don't think talking about the cold status of whatever book you're producing next is investing in the non-self.
Yeah, I think you're right there. I suppose that's the superficial me talking, my ego.
Thank you.
Y'all had enough time to look at the menus? Know what you guys want tonight?
Yeah, actually this pasta looks quite nice. Yeah, I remember because it was right around that point when Sophie kind of... The point being is that we come to rely on language to such an enormity that it's no longer purposeful for the sort of thing that Raymond's referring to.
And it's not like we can be God just by avoiding language. I mean, obviously we've kept the tool for a reason. It's just that when you use language to live, you get into trouble. And then there's the ego, which is more so the root of the problem. Detaching from it, superseding it, and undermining it is what's most important of all.
It's just that. I don't know. Everybody talks the talk, but who the fuck walks the walk? Not me. I mean, there was an attempt. There's always an attempt, but it's just that. A singular, the attempt.
It's all just trial and error. And she soaked it up, little sponge that she is. She was missing school at the time, thinking about going back.
It just seems like a lonely place to be.
I mean, some people would argue that we're always alone. Like, take you and me. I can touch you, I can kiss you, I can literally put myself inside of you, and yet, we're distinct and separate individuals. We can talk and share each other's deepest, darkest secrets. And yet, as Raymond pointed out, the failure or embarrassment
The failure and embarrassment of the ego.
is nothing of the experience itself. There was a Plotinus quote that you mentioned last week.
The journey of the alone to the alone.
You two are peculiar creatures.
You are too, you know.
You think they'd let me have a cigarette in here?
I thought it was 2019, Raymond.
Then we said goodbye to Ray.
And then she said, "See you next time."
Then we went home, watched a movie, Mulholland Drive, and then she left. Went on her business trip. Dropped her off at the airport. Felt normal. Kissed her goodbye. And a long hug. She likes long hugs. And then she just never came back.
Yes, it was a bit of a nascent decision in retrospect, but some characteristics of a conventional life need to be reverted in pretty dramatic ways. I wrote Lane letters. I think he understood it.
Started getting letters back in February. Same place in Canada. It's not like she was hiding. Well, Not anymore, anyway.
I have just always been intensely curious as to what in that conversation made her decide that she had to abandon everything. I mean, what compelled her from that conversation to do that? You think you know somebody and then all of a sudden they're gone the next day. Someone you've known your entire life disappears without a trace. What am I supposed to do with that?
Why make a change like that? Why not communicate with anyone? Why leave me?
Do you take what you say tonight seriously?
I take everything I say seriously.
Seriously.
What, you've never thought about a metaphysical you? The you that's not the you that you yourself thought yourself to be?
No, I've never read about it or thought about it and never thought it was important or consequential.
Albeit nothing's that consequential. To your Camus point, I guess even the most inconsequential and absurd parts of our lives can make us happy.
He did say it's better to burn than disappear.
Oh, yeah?
Do you want to burn together?
I mean, shit, Soph, if I came home and the thought went poof, I guess not, huh?
Well, I guess the point of me being here is to explain who I am now, but I just don't think it's possible. The Sophie that you're referring to doesn't exist anymore.